What's up, you guys? It's Big Joey! And today we're going to be talking about an item I'm sure many of you are familiar with, the Fist of Steel. But we're not just going to be breaking down the normal wiki-stat descriptions of this weapon. No. We're actually going to be talking about an exploit related to this item that Valve may or may not have intended to leave in the game. Now, if you're already an experienced player, I'm sure you already know most everything you need to know about the Fist of Steel. However, just in case you're not, here's the quick rundown. The Fist of Steel are a secondary melee item for the heavy that basically acts as a defensive getaway plan. You see, while equipped, the Fist of Steel grants you a 40% damage buff against any ranged sources of damage. This basically means that any form of gunfire, explosives, beams, or energy rings will land significantly less damage on the heavy while using these fists. This in turn can give the heavy plenty of time to escape oncoming damage if the heavy is about to be overwhelmed. However, to make up for this, the Fist of Steel also takes 100% more damage from enemy melee sources. In other words, while you may be safe from faraway damage, you certainly wouldn't want to be caught with these things up close in melee battle. Alongside this, the Fist of Steel also holster 100% slower than the regular stock fist, so generally, you'll want to make sure you can afford to wear them for a while before switching back to your minigun or anything else. And finally, the last and newest two stats of the Fist of Steel. While equipped, the heavy receives 40% less maximum overheal and 40% less health from healers. Now, while these two downsides may not sound great for the heavy, I think these two extra stats may have actually been what secretly buffed this weapon. You see, Valve added these extra stats way back during the Jungle Inferno update, and while they may have initially intended for this to make the Fist of Steel less tanky, they actually ended up adding some additional insane perks. And so we'll get right into these game-changing perks in a moment, but before we do, I'd like to give a special thank you to the sponsor of today's video, the hottest mobile game of all time, Raid Shadow Legends. That's right, the mobile behemoth just got himself another huge update, now with over 600 different champions you can choose from. And this latest update comes with Raid's biggest and craziest boss battle yet, the Hydra, a four-headed sea monster with the ability to regrow its heads that, charmingly enough, comes with multiple different personalities, such as the Head of Wrath. The Head of Wrath is quite possibly the Hydra's scariest form, taunting and weakening you before it strikes. And to make matters worse, once you've hit this thing 15 times, it begins developing the ability to triple its attack power. Not intense enough? Then what about the Head of Suffering? This head comes with a special perk called the Pain Link, an ability that ensures every time you attack it, part of the damage you deal will be shared with you. And you'd better hope your champions have what it takes to kill this thing, because otherwise it's gonna wear you down quick. And if that doesn't sound great enough, right now, Raid is also giving away an insane limited edition champion, Alexander the Sharpshooter, based off esports legend, Simple. He's an incredibly powerful archer that attacks all enemies at once, and to unlock him, all you've got to do is log on for 7 days between now and January 28th. But beyond all that, guys, I just gotta say, this game is really a lot of fun. There's so many different landscapes to play through with different enemies to fight against, insane bosses, and all with great quality graphics. Believe me, I'm not even joking you when I tell you I played it all the way through before even making this. So go check it out for yourselves. There's seriously never been a better time to join. And if you hit the link in the description or scan my QR code, you'll get a free Champion Burgess, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 ancient shard. All the treasure will be waiting for you right here. And with that all out of the way, let's go back to the Fist of Steel. So as I was saying before, it appears the last two stats Valve added to the Fist of Steel unintentionally added an additional secret perk. So to make these stats even more accurate, let's go ahead and extend this list to add just one more perk. The hidden perk added to this melee item is, while equipped, Medic's Uber charge fill rate is cut in half. So in layman's terms, what this essentially means is that anytime a medic begins healing you while you're wearing the Fist of Steel, the speed in which it normally takes the medigun to reach full Uber is cut in half. And it doesn't just stay that way for a little while, it literally continues building Uber rate at double speed until the medic breaks his beam. This means you can essentially cut any medigun's Uber rate in half, receiving a full stock Uber in 40 seconds, a quick fix Uber in 36 seconds, 4 Vaccinator Ubers in 36 seconds, and a full Kritzkrieg Uber in just 32 seconds. This just in itself is incredible news, because before this, advanced players would typically go about building Uber rates quicker by self-damaging themselves in spawn, usually by batting themselves as a scout, pogoing as soldier, or running into explosions as demo. But with this hidden Fist of Steel perk, you'll no longer have to do any of those things to build Uber rate quicker. You can simply just equip the Fist of Steel, have a medic put their beam on you, and voila, run out into battle again with a double speed Uber rate. And depending on what map you're on, this means by the time you run all the way from spawn to the attack point, you may already have half or more of your Uber filled up just by the time you get there. Now, here's the part where the perk gets pretty broken. You see, after the medic begins healing you as you're wearing the Fist of Steel, the medic's beam doesn't actually lose speed if you switch off your melee. This essentially means as long as the medic doesn't break from healing you after you've had the Fist of Steel equipped, you can switch to any other weapon or lunchbox items you'd like, and the double speed Uber rate will still keep up. However, if your medic does have to break his beam from you to heal another teammate, don't worry. Since Simply call for medic after your medic is done healing your teammate and switch to the Fist of Steel. This will simply restart the chain over again, and you'll be able to charge at double speed with your medic just like before. So after all that additional benefit, you probably thought that was it, right? Well, nope. The brokenness of this perk actually doesn't stop there. So you remember how I was telling you before that the medic's uber rate doesn't actually change when you switch from the Fist of Steel? Well, it turns out that doesn't just apply to other weapons. That's right, technically as long as you can keep the beam on yourself from spawn while switching characters, you can keep up this double uber rate speed after switching to any character. The only rule is, you can't break the beam after switching to another character, otherwise the double speed will be lost. But depending on which character you decide to switch to, this increased uber speed could make for some huge plays and be detrimental to the other team, so use it wisely. Anyways, that's all the Fist of Steel coverage I wanted to bring to you guys today. I'm not entirely sure what parts of this valve intended to stay in the game and what parts they didn't, if any of it at all, but I'd say until they get it fixed, it's fair game. So, have fun using this game-changing new perk, and if you like this video, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, later.